We started with an inferred mineral resource, nothing more than a twinkle in our eyes and an idea. We moved that up to an indicated resource. We cracked the metallurgical puzzle. We calculated the economics in the pre-feasibility study. We've secured a very strong financing partner in the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. But of course, the remaining question mark is who are the customers for these products, and getting that validation of signing up some offtake.
Hello and welcome back to the Proactive Studio. I'm Tyler Tully, and joining me today is Saratoga Graphite Managing Director Sean Gregory to talk to us about the 20-ton mining trial exercise that it's starting this week at the Central Graphite Zone. Sean, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, and welcome to the desk, Tyler. Good to meet you.
So, talk to us about this mining trial. How does it work and what are you hoping to get out of it?
Yeah, look, this is really the next logical step in the development of the Saratoga Graphite Project. Having recently completed the pre-feasibility study where we demonstrated the economic potential of the project being very positive indeed, we now move forward into what I describe as early works for a definitive feasibility study. And we really want to spend this next period of time really focused on customer-focused activities. Certainly, we've had some wonderful news on the project front. The economics look fantastic. We've had great news on the financing front in terms of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development coming along. But I think our investors really want to see validation of our product offering through some customer samples. So that's the main objective. And of course, we'll also be collecting those samples will also be very useful to test the performance of the proposed machines that we propose to use for the full implementation of the project.
So, how will the results help advance the development of the project?
Yeah, so look, we'll be excavating this 20-ton sample and trucking it up to Karaganda, which is the large city where our local office is based near the project. And we'll be milling the ore and recording the performance of the ore in the mill. That'll then allow us to confirm the assumptions we used in the pre-feasibility study. Was the mill that we assumed the correct mill? Could we go with maybe a smaller mill? Could we use less energy to process that ore? We'll collect all of that valuable data. The sample will then come down to Perth for flotation testing to make some micro ADC concentrate, which will be available as a customer sample. And also, it'll be available for us to send for what we call vendor test work. For all of the machine manufacturers that are proposing to provide machines at various stages in our production process, we'll be able to test the performance of our ore. Things like size classification. All of our products will be split into 3 different sizes, and we'll be able to test that with the vendor equipment to confirm all of the assumptions in the pre-feasibility study.
As you've said, samples will be made available for customer qualification. Can you talk to us about how important this is and what it actually means?
Look, it's critical, and I think it's really the final piece of the puzzle in terms of validating the offering that we've got at Saratoga Graphite. We started with an inferred mineral resource, nothing more than a twinkle in our eyes and an idea. We moved that up to an indicated resource. We cracked the metallurgical puzzle. We calculated the economics in the pre-feasibility study. We've secured a very strong financing partner in the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. But of course, the remaining question mark is who are the customers for these products, and getting that validation of signing up some offtake. So to do that, it is an extensive process. We do plan to make 3 product families. There's the 80% carbon material, the micro ADC, and that'll go to a diverse range of traditional uses. And we'll be looking to provide samples for those uses, for those customers. We also plan to make our ultra high purity fines, and we'll use some of this trial mining sample to purify the graphite up to 5 nines purity. And that will be made available to lead acid battery manufacturers, to alkaline battery manufacturers, to lithium primary battery manufacturers. And we'll also then do the spheronization step and that'll make some of these spheres available for your lithium-ion battery customers as well. So it is a critical step, and this qualification process, it can take many years in the lithium-ion battery, but our product strategy, because we're also targeting those other markets, there is actually a fast track to offtake of high value offtake, and it'll be quite interesting because some of those fast track products, namely the high purity fines, is actually a higher value product than the spheres for batteries and a faster qualification time. So we're looking forward to getting our teeth into that.
So what are the next steps?
So from here, Tyler, we move forward. The work happens over the coming weeks on site. I'm very much looking forward to getting up to site myself next week and visiting the operations. And not only will I visit the operations, the exciting trial mine at the graphite project, but also investors are probably wondering what our geologists have been up to all summer in Kazakhstan. And they have been very busy. Soil sampling, we've collected more than 3,000 soil samples at our Baynazar project. We've actually got a bird in the sky at the moment flying an aeromag survey. So I'm quite excited to go and visit some of those anomalies for myself and informing investors about those anomalies shortly as well. So stay tuned.
Yes, we're very excited to hear all about it. Sean, thanks for your time today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Tyler.